Okay, so we're at the end of our road trip. Well, we're in Querétaro, which is like an hour from San Miguel. We're gonna go home tomorrow. So I just thought I would interview Javi. We're here at a brewery, Hercules Brewery. We haven't really had anything to drink yet, just a little sippy sip. And what are our conclusions from our road trip from around Mexico? So first question, what was your favorite place on the whole trip?
Wow. If you put in that question, I will say it's in Puerto Escondido and it's Carrizalillo. That was the epic moment for me.
It's a beach.
It's a beach, and that's my...
Your favorite place?
Yes.
Awesome. You know, I would actually say the area of Punta in Puerto Escondido. So we're both choosing Puerto Escondido. So do you have a question? What about you? You can come with a question next.
Yeah, I mean, what will be basically the epic moment of this month for you?
Epic moment?
Epic moment.
I would say when we were watching the butterflies in Morelia. Yeah, that was an epic moment. Okay, what about you? You agree? You're nodding your head, or you pick a different epic moment?
Okay, epic moment. All right. I think for me it was when I was driving through Acapulco. It was very touching in a particular way for me to just remember my childhood in Acapulco. So that's my epic moment.
Epic moment. All right. All right, my turn. So, what place surprised you the most? Like, what was the biggest surprise?
The biggest surprise for me, it was basically driving through Oaxaca. Nothing to do with I was here about driving through Oaxaca. It was something that I didn't expect. It's beautiful, peaceful, and a very calm drive. That was my surprise.
Yeah, I will add to that that's not my choice, but I will add that, yeah, I mean, when I think of Mexican road trip, I mean, basically driving through Oaxaca was perfect. It's like exactly what I imagined. We drove along the coast, and it was this small highways, with palm trees and incredible beaches just hidden around any corner. And then we drove through the mountains, which is just so beautiful. You get to the top, and it's all about Magic Mushroom Town. It's a town where everybody takes magic mushrooms, and we didn't. But yeah, just the driving in Oaxaca was amazing. But I'd say the biggest surprise for me, it's just funny, I just laugh now. It's got to be Querétaro, where we are right now. And what's so surprising is that, for those of you who don't know, it's the fastest growing city in Mexico. It's huge. It's got like a couple million people or something like that. And it's very modern. And so, we've come here to go to Costco. We came here to buy our car, but we've never been to the historic centro. And so right now, we're in the historic centro, and it's beautiful. I mean, it's huge. The historic centro is very large. It's very clean. It's beautiful. And it's just nice to be there and walk around. And here we're at this amazing brewery. It's massive. It's a factory. And I just, I always had kind of a negative image of Querétaro. I thought of the highways and the bigness of it, but boy, was I wrong. So that's my biggest surprise. All right, your turn. You got a question?
Okay, let me.
Or if you don't, it's okay.
No, well, something that you want to share, actually. Something that you want to share in particular about this trip that we did. Just...
Okay. All right, I got it. So part of me, a big part of this trip for me was, I mean, we're pretty settled in San Miguel, but there's something about, is there another place? And so instead of looking for another place, it was more about checking places off that we've thought about, that and just making sure that we don't want to go move there for 6 months or something like that. And so it's kind of my conclusions of what I would share. And like a big place for me that I wanted to check out was Morelia, and it was beautiful, but it didn't really call to me that much. I loved all the open space there. I also, we've been to Oaxaca City, But when we went there with the thought of like, oh, would we consider moving here? I was really surprised at how un-dog friendly it was. You have to remember that's a big part of our trip is we're traveling with Frida. And, you know, just walking in the centro, we couldn't eat anywhere with her. I mean, we eat with her like twice a day. So that kind of knocked that out for me. I realized if we were going to move there, we'd live in the countryside, like outside the city and drive in or something. And then of course I really want to go back to the Punta area of Puerto Escondido. Probably not to live, because every time I've been to the Oaxacan coast, you know, starting 25 years ago, it's always been like in the hottest part of the year, May through August. This is the first time I was there in winter. Okay, here comes our food. Here comes our food. Yeah, dos hamburguesas. Oh, eso es para sin queso. Sí, para mí con queso. Gracias. Okay.
Muchas gracias.
All right, I guess we got to end this soon. So Punta, we were there this time in the winter, and it was still effing hot. I mean, you know, I've always wondered, oh, could we possibly live by a beach? And man, it was a lot. It was a lot to be there even in the winter. So it's hard for me to imagine, you know, even though I think Puerto Escondido is just an amazing place, like it's up and coming. You can buy a lot near the beach for $50,000, you know, which, you know, would cost $1 million if it was anywhere near Centro and San Miguel. So I definitely want to go back to the Punta area, but like for a winter, you know, for a couple of months. But I don't think we could live there.
I can handle a couple months. I can handle a couple months. And the beach. Yeah. December, January. And well, I personally think that every city that we check, it has his own flavor, his own personality, and we work through all of these cities, and we feel, number one, we feel very safe. I personally feel very safe in all the cities. I would say maybe Acapulco, but I mean, it was so good. We were driving at night in the boulevard. It's so good, and yeah, I would say thank you so much for following us. Thank you for your support, your love, and as we are here in Mexico, we dive in our guests, in our and exploring. Yeah, what is next?
Woohoo! Thanks for following. Thanks for tuning in, and maybe we'll see you in Mexico, or I'll see you back in Santa Cruz. All right, ciao.